a daddy Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play. Option Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good
Troy.
morning.
Good morning.
Troy, how you doing?
CPI is lighting everybody's world up. Just low inflation. I didn't even see what the number was, but I bet it was good.
Well, so there's like multiple CPIs, right? So there's the core, the year over year, the actual. If we pull up the old Forex Factory here, forexfactory.com/calendar, no affiliation, just a helpful reference. The core CPI was 0.2. The forecast was 0.3. And then the CPI itself was a 0.3, which was forecast, and CPI year over year was 2.7, which was forecast. I think this is also appropriate time for the fourth CI that we're trying to bring, which is the DCI, the Diet Coke indicator, which is a proprietary indicator to Option Omega. And that's when I go to Kroger and tell you guys how much it is for a 12-pack of Diet Coke, the DCI. Are you guys ready for the DCI? I'm going to do it live on this show. It hasn't been released yet. Are you ready?
Ready. Drum roll.
So the way this works is it's the last 3 visits to Kroger.
Yeah.
We'll pick the lowest number. And the DCI was 5. And what does that mean? It means that what does it cost for a 12-pack of Diet Coke? And it was 5. So 5, it's measured in dollars, US dollars, tied to the US dollar. So it's $5. And I will tell you that the DCI has been trending downward. And this week it was 670, but last week it was 5. So per the rules of the DCI, we're choosing 5. So CPI was down, DCI was down a little bit. Troy, what do you guys think about that?
I mean, Dan, how much was Diet Cokes when you were growing up? When did Diet Coke come out?
It was free. It was free for the first.
They
paid you to drink it.
They paid us to drink. I don't know. It was. Yeah. I still remember my father saying, "Wait a second, you're paying for water? You actually went somewhere and bought water." He goes, he's like, we raised you the right way, and you're stinking paying for water. But let me just say this real quick. The in Knoxville, I went to Costco yesterday. What do you think a gallon of gas at Costco? $2.05.
Wow.
Oh yeah, most of the place. I mean, Costco's pretty impressive. Even in Knoxville, it was like $2.30, $2.35, $2.39. I think it was higher. I mean, that's as low as any. Here's the question: has anybody on the chat paid less than $2.05 a gallon? If not, we're going to give the shout out to Knoxville Kroger, or what do you call it?
Costco, always a Costco shout out.
Yeah, but the thing you were just mentioning the CPI. All right, so what's the futures are up? What, 2 points?
Yeah,
something. I just think we're
but flat.
Throw all that stuff out the window. Come on, we need about a 4% correction. Let's get things going. I don't care about all this. I mean, and I get it. Irrationality abounds, right? But I still think take everything out the window. We're due. We've had too many days of sunshine. We need a 4%er, which would be around, give us 300 points down. I think it's coming, folks. If not, we're going to root it on. Oh, what did they just say? Someone just put in their Costco.
257. Listen, I'm close to New Jersey as well. I think I was in the 250s at our Costco for gas last week.
That's pretty good. I would think New Jersey 257. That
I
seems
know.
reasonable. I mean, because that's going to be more expensive than Tennessee, isn't it?
Yeah, which you would think Indiana would be cheaper than New Jersey, but when you get into that whole gas pricing, it's like there's so many. I'll just say this: most people don't realize who makes the most money on gas, on a gallon of gasoline or petrol, as you would say in other parts of the world.
True.
In the US, who makes the most? The government. And it's like not even close. Taxes are by far more profitable than the companies that extract it, refine it, transport it, blend it, sell it to the consumer at the pump. The government, the taxes are the biggest portion.
What are we talking, Matt? Like on taxes? What?
I mean, good origami man got it. He got it. It is the government. It depends where you're at because state taxes vary so much. That's why California is.
I'll tell you where it's at in California. I was about to say.
What is it? $5?
I mean,
and
literally like $4 is tax out of the $5.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
Is that what it is? $5 for a gallon in California?
It's nuts in California.
The other one that will shock you, and listen, we've had a request for more punditry, and
the Tom says more punditry.
More punditry. Well, we're going.
Tom, I asked at lunch yesterday to Troy. I asked them. Don't tell anybody, Tom. I asked Troy, what does punditry mean? I didn't know what it meant.
It's a great question. And I think people just want our opinion on everything under the sun generally. Troy, is that how you're reading this?
Yeah.
Well, Tom has a good point. I mean, the fact that you forget $4 for $4 under $4, I think you can go to Costco, get yourself a gallon of gas, get yourself a hot dog.
That's true.
A Coke.
So
that's an American company right there.
Let me just expound on, because I talked about this on the show. This is super important that Costco switched from Pepsi to Coke last year. And this is something that I've done research on this. You guys can do research on it. Don't take my word for it. You can research what happened, but for years it was never going to happen. Now it's happened. So Tom, to answer your question, yes, it is a little over $4, and the Coke plus hot dog is $1.50, and then whatever your gas is. So in the case of Knoxville, Tennessee, it's sub $4 for a gallon of gas, a hot dog, and a Coke, and the Coke is unlimited. Can I
say one thing on Costco since we're on the topic?
You can always say something on Costco.
Yeah, I was looking at Costco, like I'm looking at the price chart. Costco's at $9.43. I was looking at this at the end of the year and thinking, wait a second, am I looking at that right? This is one of the few stocks down for the year. Costco is down. And I'm like, and I know somebody in the chat was talking about, okay, their price earnings was up or whatever. But I'm like, and I was looking at a poor man's covered right there. Because I thought, because the stock's expensive to do right in Costco's, you got to put up 90 grand.
$90,000.
So poor man's covered right, just for those, could be, you're going, there's many different flavors of it, but you might go out for 3 months and buy, if you want to do an out of the money covered long diagonal, that's what I was looking at. If you go, you buy 3 months out and you buy maybe a 55 Delta, and then you come in and you torture it with the time decay. You sell like 7 to 10 days out, and you keep that rolling if you need to. But you're selling if you're buying a 50 Delta, and you just sell whatever that is, or what did I say? You're buying
55 Delta in the
55
money.
Delta. You're selling one strike or two out of the money.
Yeah.
So you're doing, and you get a lot of Deltas. If you're a little more bullish, you do an out of the money long diagonal. And I looked at that, and then I forgot about it. And I look at this now, the last 11 days, Costco's up like 12%. It's just, and people are just looking at it and just, it's crazy. Really soared. Yesterday was the last 3 days, if you check out the price chart on Costco, big candles. So, I mean, this thing has been, I think it was down, Troy, I think it was down 5% for the year last year.
Listen, Costco is expensive to buy as a stock. But there's a story that I can't repeat because it involves foul language, but Costco is kind of a legend. If you want to go deeper on Costco, you can listen to the podcast. Acquired has multiple hours on Costco, but there's a famous story that I just want to recount. And it was Costco was started. There was a merger. It was on the West Coast. It just doesn't really matter to this story. There was a new guy in charge, and the new guy went to the old guy who was in charge and said, I want to change the price of a hot dog and soda. And we have somebody in Canada who commented just a minute ago. So I'm going to ask our friend in Canada, is a hot dog plus a soda $1.50 in Canada? And I was at a Canadian Costco, and I believe the answer is yes. I'm asking for confirmation. So Canada, maybe. In the US, it's $1.50. Hot dog plus soda. You walk into the food court, they change what's on the food court. They've made changes, and we can talk about those. But for a long time, hot dog plus soda, $1.50. Doesn't change. Old guy says to new guy, I want to change the price of the hot dog plus soda. The new guy, and I can't repeat this part on the show, you need to look up this story, says, I will kill you if you change the price of the soda. And he didn't say I will kill you. He said something a variation of that, but he said
a little mafia type.
The hot dog plus soda is going to be $1.50.
Wow.
And that's the kind of thing that we have on the OO show. And if you're interested in backtesting, we've got one coming, but we'll probably have 15 more minutes of punditry before that backtest. But
can I get one more last, man?
Yeah.
I was in Costco again yesterday.
Yes.
But I'll tell you one thing that stood out. I don't know if I brought this up yesterday. Whoever the buyers are, when you walk in there, they're pretty darn good at like yesterday, out of nowhere, they had bushel baskets of these, just like a storage thing that you'd put your whatever papers or files in, these storage boxes, cases, people picking them up. When they put a new product in there, and even clothes, who would think of like a Costco, but you know what? At the price, especially for guys, right? What guy doesn't need a pair of sweatpants or a couple shirts? And you know what? You look at the price. Yeah, no, you're right. And you look at look at the prices. It's a no-brainer. $12. That seems right, doesn't it, for a guy? Or $12, get a shirt or pants. And I don't know, their buyers seem to do a really good.
Yes.
I mean, can you imagine if you're the buyer, man, and you're going to a company, what they must move for, like, we'd like these.
Right.
I mean, and
Costco has like one, like they're kind of like Aldi. Like if you want ketchup, they have one ketchup. Now some of the Costco's, they may have like a organic option or whatever. But my point is, you're not going to find 12. When you go to Kroger, there are 15 different types of ketchups. That's not what Costco does.
Smart. They get
the one, and they're going to pick the one that everybody wants. To your point, the buyers are excellent. Though I will tell you, Dan, do you know the one thing that I've seen that Costco has in my Costco have really increased, and they have more than one of, and it's blown my mind. You're never going to guess this. What product?
Peanut butter?
Great guess. There's a story about their peanut butter because they've switched back and forth between Jif and Skippy, but no, it's sardines. And they've branched out and have multiple types of sardines. So we're not going to do a show on the sardines, but if you want to talk about it after the show, you can PM me. So guys, Troy is feeling a little under the weather today. If you're wondering why Troy is sitting there, he's feeling a little under the weather, and we're trying to let him conserve his energy. He's still recovering from the CPI. He's still recovering from the DCI, the big Diet Coke index reveal we did this morning. But Troy, I think we do have a back test to talk about. Do we not?
Before I do the back test, Troy, I got it. Maybe make you feel better. You like gumbo. We went out for lunch yet. Troy got some gumbo. If you go, we went to the Costco at Costco, I'm trying to see if it was the one in Knoxville.
We didn't eat the gumbo at the Costco. Just
No.
to tie it. It
Two
was not
separate stories.
two
Yeah.
separate stories, but I would have.
But
yeah.
they have like, you even notice, like, yeah, we were looking at fish. You would never see like wild shrimp. I don't see that at Whole Foods, or good, salmon, really high quality. But the prices are really, organic for people who like that. But the prices are so much better because they must just buy like everything. I mean, when they see a good deal. But anyways, on to the back test. Is this a Costco back test? No.
Oh, not yet. Not yet. That would be a killer move on our part. Is everybody wants NVIDIA. Everybody, I'd say a small subset of people want NVIDIA. People want gold. The first thing we should just ever add to the back test is Costco. I think that would be fantastic.
Stack, yes.
So we are doing small account challenge today, and real quick, just so you know, I mean, we got a full gambit of shows today. This is a big day. So fix my back test is at 10:30. Navigation trading shows at noon. Small account challenge 3:30. Now we took the video off last week, the small account challenge, and we've been doing some work with that. And I thought, just to give you a little sneak peek, we would do one live and just talk about one of the strategies that we're going to talk more about, obviously. But show you it live. We went through it. If you saw the video last Tuesday, you saw it. But if not, you haven't seen it since then.
Troy, can I interrupt you for just a second? We've got Fix My Back Test is at 10:30.
10:30.
The Navigation Trading Show is at 12:30. We're doing the OO show right now. And then what else do we have today? We have the Small Count Challenge show.
We got you go right to left here. You got Fix My Backpack. Fix My Backpack at 10:30 / backtest. Fix My Backtest. Navigation Trading at 12 p.m. Small Account Challenge 3:30. So we'll be talking more about that. But I figured we'd go and look at one of these trades. And so we're going to give it to you. Not going to share it here, but we're going to go through it live. So this is one we had talked about. This is a ratio 1-2 double calendar with the VIX 9-day above 1. Matt, Dan, what are we looking at here?
Well, it's interesting because if you model this thing out, this is going to have 2 profit tents like a normal DC, but I'm guessing if you model it out, one of the profit tents is going to be much larger because you are ratioing this. There it is. As you can see, this is a very bold up double calendar. That's what the ratioed is.
So you did 2 on the call side or 2 on the call side, right? Or put side?
2 on the call side. Yep.
Call side. No, put side. Oh, that's 2 DTE. I'm sorry. 2 on the call side. Okay.
And so we're at 20 delta, and it's a 1-2 that can go on any day, but it's got a pretty not pretty exclusive, but it has a really what you're looking for is a VIX 9-day, a VIX of a min 1. So this thing is, I think Troy, it had one really good year, right? That's what the history shows since Dailies. Yeah, it was really good last year. So this is one that kind of like did well last year during the run up. It's going to be a little bit trickier than a normal DC, but it's going to not go on every day, even though it can, because of that VIX 9-day to VIX minimum of 1. And then there's the only exit condition is a timed exit.
Hey, is there any chance you could look at how do you, just to show people that VIX 9-day, VIX minimum 1, can you show them in the back test? How do you do that?
Yep, it's just one of the entry conditions. So what you're basically looking for with that is the VIX 9-day and the VIX are measuring different things, right? So VIX is measuring about a 30-day vol or a 30-day per price or etc. VIX 9-day is measuring a 9-day. So what you want is you want an environment where people are kind of expecting some movement, and they're expecting some movement in the nearer time frame. And so that's going to really limit it. Troy, if you can go to the trade log, how much did this thing trade at the end of the year? So yeah, you see not a ton. And this one, I'm guessing, can have, let's go back up to the metrics and look at it. So this has, it's not, when that's crazy. It's won exactly half the time. From December 23rd, when this was run. What you're hoping is that it's bulled up, as people say. It's got to move, and it really wants to move to the upside. Not to say you can't have a downside winner, but you want it to move to the upside. So in the last 30 days, it hasn't won. So
It hasn't won.
It hasn't run.
Hasn't
won
because it hasn't run.
That's right. It has not run or won at all. So this is not going to be a super common one. So what's interesting is, would you guys think this is, I don't want to say it's a buy the dip type setup, but it's certainly pretty restrained in when it's going to go on because of that VIX ratio, but yet you're still looking for a bullish move out of it.
But it would have won in the last month if put on, though, right? Because of the
Who knows? I mean, we could take that VIX ratio off and run it, but that VIX ratio, I think, is, my guess is, that's pretty important to the success and the filtering of this trade. So yeah, I think what you're going for is, especially last year, bullish year, but we've had a couple bullish years. You hit those winners, and you can really hit a good sized winner.
What's your deltas at, Troy? And the modeling, your starting deltas on that? Are you like 5 deltas long per contract or more?
It's a great question.
Yeah,
more, but it's, now it depends on what time of day you're putting it on, but I would say anywhere from 5 to 10 probably.
Deltas long, okay.
Yeah, and you've got to depend on how IV's pricing. You might have a little put of positive theta. You'll definitely have positive vega, and to the point of it, you think about why this trade works, which is always kind of important if you're going to stick with something, is understand the why and not just what it does.
Right.
So if VIX 9-day is above 1, it means that we have gotten to a situation where short-term VIX is more elevated than long-term VIX. Now, what are those situations usually called? Any VIX trivia,
Oh, using the Greek words, backwardization and contango?
Backwardation. Yeah. Backwardation is the future prices are lower than the spot price. Right. And so this is kind of playing a backwardation. So you think about, when are we in backwardation? We're usually in backwardation when we have some sort of vol event, right? Or some sort of
market goes down.
Market's usually gone down. But question is, how often do we stay in backwardation? The answer is not long at all. How do you get out of that? I think actually Tom might be right. I think I asked because my brain's in a fog. But Dan, is it backwardation or contango? I always get them confused.
Well, contango's the normal state of the market is contango, right? Where the more expensive vol is farther out.
I know, but I want to make sure the name of it is, that's right? That's
contango, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you saying all like the spelling?
No. Meaning like those are the two states, but which word gets attributed to the state? I can't remember. Okay.
Yeah, you got it right.
Yeah, backwardization.
Backwardation is less common.
Close one's higher vol, far out is
right.
Lower vol, just because you're in a higher vol environment.
Which is what this one is. So
you're buying on dips on this, right, guys?
Yeah, that's kind of why I said it's kind of a buy on dip. The more elegant term is to say it's a.
I like that.
It's a backwardation.
Like buying on the dip.
Play.
Yeah, and you still want some downside move because we can definitely go down. But you're kind of playing that we're probably going to revert. I mean, every time I would say, just given enough time, we're going to revert. And so this is kind of a quick little shot at it. And, you know,
And the long delta, being a little extra long delta helps because when we come back up, the vols are going to come down. And so you're leaning into your pain, as they used to say in the pits. You know, that's why the big, the two big phrases, long delta, long vega, short delta, short vega. And so this would be, especially on the downside, long delta. You want to be a little bit longer delta. Yeah, I guess the only negative thing on this you could possibly say is you wish it ran more, but that just shows we don't go down as much, right?
Well, and you could test different. I mean, you could do obviously different levels of the VIX 9-day and test it. You know, that's the beauty of not believing what you're told and doing your own research. You know, is you can definitely figure this out. And
Troy,
I'm always
22. Was this good? This must have nailed it in 22, right?
let's just explore the space a little bit. You know,
You would think, right?
Well, do you want to do all of 22 or just since day? Well, I guess, yeah. Do you have exact DTE on?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's not going to work really, but you know,
it'll work maybe a little.
Here's the thing. Tom got me. Tom said I just like saying contango.
Yeah, 6 times. So
yep.
Oh,
so what? Not much. Now, the reason I think for that probably is because the exact DTE.
Yes, that's right.
And so, for instance, I don't know, Matt, how would we do this? With the just simple?
I mean, you can take the exact. This is not going to be the same test at all.
No, it's
if
not.
We take exact DTE off. So
we'll do it.
That, you know, they have more strikes for the Qs now than there were in 22 because the Qs are super popular and the market makers love to put them on. So yeah, this is one I would not take exact DTE off. It's going to be a completely different trade.
Okay.
Yeah, you really need that one too.
So listen, a couple questions. First question: can you explain the MAR and CAGR? Yes.
CAGR.
The compound annual growth rate is what that is, and the MAR is simply the math of the CAGR, the CAGR divided by the drawdown. So if you take 22.9, divide that by 6.3, you should get 3.6. So that is what it is. So the MAR, you know, the MAR shows the relationship between those two things, your drawdown and your return. And I will say this, I always want to preface this because people use the term MAR and they'll compare different MARs, but MAR is contextual. This is really important. MAR is contextual to the conversation that you're having. What do I mean by that? If you have somebody who's allocating 30% to a strategy and somebody's allocating 3% to a strategy and you compare the MARs, you have to understand that that's a different allocation. So I find it most useful when I am comparing MARs to level set and make sure that the allocation is consistent or set up in a way that I want to compare those MARs. Again, it's easy to have well, I don't want to say it's easy, but there are tests out there that have a 1 billion MAR and you look at it and you think, well, it's got 2 trades and it's 100% allocation, right? So context matters. Listen, context matters with everything. It definitely matters with MAR. So another question, does this win on the upside or the downside more often? That is a fantastic question. And I do not know. This backtest, as we said, we're not going to share it right now, but it is going to be part of the small count challenge. So come back this afternoon for the small count challenge and you can get the research data, aka this backtest. You can get that in the small count challenge show. So yeah. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the show today, but it's definitely part of the challenge.
Yeah, I can't tell you if it's won more to the upside or downside, but I can tell you it won more money to the upside.
Yeah, yes, you would.
So
yeah, I mean, you want it to go up, right? I mean, it's more geared towards the upside, right?
Yep. You want to go up, and so yeah, I mean, I think that's fun. And you know, we've got 7 of these that we're starting with, and I wanted to spend a couple minutes at the close here, just having a a little bit heart to heart. I know there's people listening, but just the three of us. And then if the chat wants to talk about it.
Okay.
I realized the other day, one of our very own in our community, shout out Denny, absolutely improved one of our strategies. It's an Apple strategy. So here's my question. I'm intrigued. I'm leaning towards doing an update to the portfolio with that improved strategy. But should we do updates? I mean, I don't want to do that a lot, but if we clearly improve a trade, should we do that, or should we just keep trading the test that we got? Again, my sense is update it, understanding it's contextual, like the MAR thing. You don't want to do this a lot. And then show people the update and put it in the portfolio. I could also understand a theoretical argument to say, no, started with what you got and you got to do it.
Man, I would honestly say the people who have the most skin in the game should answer that. So you should ask that during the small count challenge show.
That's a good, yeah. And I would say, yeah, here's the thing. You have like your executive board, let's say you two, Rusty, the Discord guys, the guy from Scotland, what's his name again? Who's the guy from Scotland? I'm joking. Tom. But have, because for me, how can you not, if you ask anybody at this, let's say you stood in front of the CBOE today and you ask everybody coming up, are you open if somebody can improve your strategy or whatever? They say yes, but here's the other side of the coin. You don't want, because you had it's like when you guys told me maybe a year ago, December, DCs were struggling for X amount of weeks, right? And so if someone came to me during that period and said, okay, DCs are struggling, I'm making this change because of that, I'd be less hesitant to make the change there. You know what I mean? I mean, if it was a truly, you looked at this adjustment and it's good for a long period of time, or this tweak to make it better. But if it's just to make, if it's a short-term thing, right? If it's just for 3 weeks to make it better, that's stupid. That's stupid. But that's. Do you agree? Or I mean, you guys are much.
Well, I think I want to shout out this comment from Joe in the chat. I love his response, and I actually think this is the right answer, which is. He's trading them and he has his own update to it. That's what we want to do. Like,
yes.
These are not put out there to copy trade. That's not, there are literally copy trading services. If you want to copy trade, go find a copy trading service. This is the data and the context. And I mean, I think hopefully you guys agree. We're putting a ton of time and energy into doing research into this and putting out in the community. We want you to make these your own. Like I don't think we can say it any more clearly. We want you to make these your own. So that's what they're there for. Joe's doing it right. So, Troy, I still think it'd be a great question to talk about with the, on the SAC and see at 3:30 today on this here channel right here, see what people think. Cause I'm not sure what you kind of set up the expectation as, but that would be my answer.
But don't you open the door though? I mean, again, I do think there, do you agree? There has to be a discussion, because if you're just tweaking, hey, I lost 2 in a row, even though I knew coming into this, we could lose 4 in a row, but I'm uncomfortable with the 2 in a row. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting anxious. And I think this could last longer. Let's make a short-term tweak. That to me, I'd be against, right? Unless, it's like somebody said now, okay, VIX is 14, we're not going to do anything because VIX is going to go to 12, or we're going to do something. I mean, I don't know. I think it has to be what the tweak is in context to the big thing, right?
Yeah.
To
Stephen's point,
I love that idea.
Do you think I'm a zillionaire? You think I'm literally just made of money?
That's a good idea, though. I mean,
I love that.
My thought, to Dan's point, Dan raises a good point. Like, you have to, we have rule sets. So we have circuit breakers and we have situations where we're going to get out of the trade. We're going to stop trading it. And we said basically the simple heuristic is if it has lost more in a row than it has ever lost before, we're going to get out. So some of that is like 3 times in a row. Sometimes that's 10 times in a row, but whatever it is. This is, I mean, we put one on, it's still open. So it has nothing really to do with is it bad or good? It's really just looking at it and saying, is there a better version of this? And it's not that different a trade, honestly. It's still a trade that goes on the same time. It's just a higher delta and a little longer out in time. So we'll see what happens. But listen, I appreciate the feedback. I'm glad to Matt's point, like this, it actually might answer it to update it, because I don't want people doing what we're doing. Like I want you to take the trades and try to fit them for your worldview.
Yeah.
This is my worldview. Fit them for your worldview.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's good stuff. So just a reminder, in an hour, speaking of good stuff, if you have thought to yourself, I would like to try to improve my backtest, I have some backtests to improve. Check out Fix My Backtest. And
Troy is going to eat 3 things of sardines from Costco with Tabasco sauce on them, pound 2 Diet Cokes, take a hot shower, and be ready to go in an hour. Is that what you're going to do, Troy?
Stomach's not really in the state to hear that description.
Listen,
listen.
We had a phrase growing up that, listen, I'm gonna take this and make a boy or a girl out of it. We're gonna figure it out, Troy. 3 sardines, your stomach's gonna go one way or the other. So listen,
yeah,
that may be what you need. Some Tabasco.
Shout out. We don't do sponsorships a lot,
but we're open.
Gator Light Zero.
What is that?
This is a Gator Light Zero. This is if you like Gatorade, but you're ready to take it to the next level. This is extra electrolytes.
Is that Gatorade? That's Gatorade for actually when you're sick or fasting or something. Zero sugar with electrolytes.
It's an electrolyte beverage. Yeah, it's just a lot more electrolytes. And so,
is it working?
I'm here. And listen, I'm one of those guys, like, you get sick, and I told Matt, like, there's nothing worse in the world in my mind than a dad who gets sick, because they're the worst, kind of just like lay in bed, just like, I don't know. Speaking personally, I don't do well with sick. I try not to do it, and I don't plan on doing it a lot. So, and usually the cigar smoke kills everything. Like, it doesn't really. So,
right.
Anyway, it does have what plants crave. And that's what I'm looking for in a drink. So
I'm going to go have some sardines with Brondo for lunch. That's my plan.
Wow.
And listen, we'll be back tomorrow. Had a great session yesterday with Dan. Tomorrow, we're going to look at some common terms and options. So
wait, tomorrow, let's clarify that. This is another YouTube show, Options for Beginners, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah. And Dan did a great job yesterday. And that one to me is going to be awesome, because it's stuff that, like, if you're afraid to ask in here, it's just a safe space to be able to just say, I have no idea what MAR means. I have no idea what IV means. I have no idea what calls mean or puts mean. Now, eventually we'll be like, all right, go read a book. But for the most part, we're pretty safe in there.
Well, and I think the other thing, just what we'll try to focus on the show, it's just the practical part, right? There's, you can get all day long, what is strike, what is this, what is that, and then bring in the practical part of it, which is kind of, okay, how do people do this with a long call, right? I mean, because everything's always assumed, well, I have the call and I'll hold it at expiration. Well, in the real world, people don't do that on a long call. What do people in the real world do? Well, how do the Greeks act in the real world? It's like, how do the Greeks act in the real world versus theoretical Greeks? Theoretical Greeks are much different than actual, and when and why do they differ? I think those are important.
100%.
Troy, I don't see the dog today. Is he there? Oh, there he is. There he is. Okay. Oh, sorry.
He's big night on the town of doing exactly what he's doing right now.
Big dog will rest.
That's right. All right.
Troy, we hope you feel better.
Thank you. Have a great rest of your trading day. We'll be back on in an hour.